Good morning and afternoon. It's 9 a.m. Pacific. Welcome all to the Sharing Show. I'm Kane and I'm joined today with David, better known as the Workday Sharing Guy, Caroline, Logan, Teresa, and special guests.
Thanks, Kane. What's the most important thing about Zoom chat?
Most importantly, we would like everyone to interact and share on this show today, so make sure that you select all panelists and attendees when you send any chat messages through the chat feature. So without further ado, I think we're ready to start.
Thank you. So what we want to do is if you want to change your preferences now, your default to all panelists and attendees, you will have some priority for the Apple Watch birthday present. And you can test it to make sure that you have it correctly. If you change your chat, and then if you are live with Workday dashboards and you were involved in the creation of those, then I want you to type a Y into chat. Yes, for live and you were involved. I want you to type L if you were live but you were not involved. And I want you to type N. No, you are not even yet live on Workday, but you're getting there. So if you can enter into the chat after you've done that, the day you were born, just the month and the day. This is related to the Apple Watch announcement at the end of the show. And now we'd like to welcome Caroline from New England as our co-host. Good morning, Caroline.
Good morning, Logan. Nice to see you again, or hear you anyway. And hello to everyone on the call. I'm Caroline. My Workday journey began as a comp SME, picked up talent along the way with General HCM. Then I moved from being a customer to a consultant, focusing on post-implementation support at important post-go-live period. I've previously hosted share-a-thons, focusing on dashboards and reporting, and really understand and believe that shares and apps are key in our extended Workday family. And here I am in Florida, our last rising.
With me. And so Caroline is going to take care of us today, and future themes for our sharing shows. We have dashboards, Prism, comp, maybe financials, recruiting. We have our encores coming. So if you have ideas for themes, if you would like to offer to host or co-host or suggest a theme, if you have asks or shares, you can go to thesharingshow.com. We're even talking about doing some advanced comp in August or September, so let us know.
So my shares today are about getting started in dashboards and how you can spruce up delivered dashboards using multi-tabs, enabling delivered tasks, and enabling custom tasks. And when you're getting started, it's one of my favorite quotes from Lewis Carroll, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. There are many paths to get there. One thing I find really helpful is on your bookmark bar, put in Workday Community and the shared demonstration tenants. There's something that you need to be able to access quickly and easily at all times. I put up some great community links on the sharing show. There's my little teaser. I put in the link to the demonstration tenant, a link about getting started with dashboards, setting up custom dashboards. Also, there's one about tracking dashboard usage that I'll talk about briefly. And I think the last one there was from a share-a-thon and has great PDFs on getting started with reporting. And when I thought about preparing for the show, I reached out to Jim, who's also in New England. I took the liberty of condensing some of his comments. He started very early on, I want to say almost a year and a half before go live, with putting together reporting. And some of his lessons learned were, leverage standard dashboards. Get started, start small, and you can make improvements from there. Two that stood out to him were the My Team management and headcount. Promote and structure your reports to make them accessible for your users, or else you're not going to have that adoption that you want. And don't worry about being an expert. You don't have to know everything. In his case, he did say took the training probably a little too early in the Workday journey, so that's something to learn for him. Understand security and reporting, because you can have the best reports, you can put them out to your users, and your users say, wait a minute, I can't see this field. And you have to remember to be checking your security, that it's working as you want it to. And I'm going to talk about this as well, the new dashboard tab functionality. And Jim had mentioned the My Team management. It replaces My Team, which is deprecated. You can have up to 6 tabs and add tabs to it. This is a great quick win, I think, for your managers. So if you go to Maintain Dashboards and navigate to My Team Management and edit it, you'll come up with this. Note that you cannot add any other tabs. And you're like, wait a minute, I thought I could add 6 tabs. And that add button is disabled. You need to use the task bulk enable tabs for Workday delivered dashboards. It's all-encompassing. Once you enable it, it will work for all Workday delivered dashboards. And now when you go back into Maintain Dashboards, that add button is available and you can add multiple tabs. what works for your company, your organization. In this instance, I put up, you have my team management, which will tell all about your team, but recruiting goals, performance, compensation, stock or equity. There may be a headcount reporting that you want. You want a one-stop shop for your managers. And from that, if you go into you're still in maintain dashboards and you've added your tabs, and now you have options on that right menu that you can add additional tasks for a custom report. If you want to add another task, you go into that plus sign, click it, and go into tasks, and you'll have the ability to look through existing Workday delivered tasks for that workload. And let's say you search and the one you want is not there, because trust me, the one you want will not be there. Go back to custom allowed workload tasks and click in there, and you'll have the ability to search for additional tasks. In this example, I looked for, I want my managers to be able to run and look at comp review statements after a cycle is completed. You can change the name, add a comment, click OK. When you look at your tasks again, I've added the comp review statements. I've also added print employee reviews because I thought that would be maybe helpful to managers as well. So in my testing, I went back in and proxied as a manager, and I said, wait a minute, I'm only seeing view comp review statements. What happened to my print employee reviews? Even though as an admin you can add tasks, you've got to make sure the task owner has the security. So in this instance, I'm going to have to go back and check my domain security and make sure that managers have the ability to print employee reviews.
Thanks so much, Caroline. What's next on the agenda?
Up next, we'd like to welcome Matilda from Sweden. Welcome, Matilda.
Hi, nice to see you all. We have been live for around 3 years now. And we have been doing dashboards from day one pretty much, but one kind of target group that we have not prioritized that bad or that much at all is actually our local admins, basically, those actually doing the work in Workday. We have an idea now to try to do a dashboard for the transactional team or another good naming for them. Say, hey, this is the one-stop stop for you to find all the reports you need in your daily work and the tasks that you need to go to. I would like a few good stories if any of you have done anything similar or any good feedback on it. We have really started on the quick that we want like one tab per target group, and then to utilize the menus and keep probably one of them for the country-specific reports and so on. Anyone done this before? Any good topic per area you have done? Groups, do's and don'ts on this, basically. Yeah, so just hit it with ideas. We have basically gotten this far and discussed that maybe we should look into bulletin worklets, and that's about it.
Thank you, Matilda. So the way this works is people go into the chat. This discussion could happen now in the chat. Thank you, Matilda.
Hi, Keith. We have Keith next on the line from Florida.
Hi, again, this is Keith from Florida, and thinking about dashboards, we've been live for about 5 years and have lots of different types of dashboards. One question that has recently come up is what's the difference between a dashboard and a Workday custom landing page? And this came up because somebody typed in the search bar a report and they were looking for the dashboard and they saw this custom landing page. And the difference is the custom landing page is a dashboard with tabs, whereas the custom dashboard is just a single view of just that one tab. I kind of like the idea of a custom landing page because some of the examples we're already talking about, it's showing the multiple tabs and can be kind of this place where you can put multiple sets of data for a given department. What are some of the common use cases? These are just ideas for you as you think about ones you could create. We have ones that are specifically geared for end users or departments, like a group of users or executive, and I'll give you some examples of that in a moment. What are the tasks that are involved? Some of these have already been mentioned, but you're going to have the maintain dashboards, maintain quick links, create or edit bulletins, and you could also create a report of reports so that people can find all the different custom reports that you've created for them. So I'll show you how to do that. How much does this cost? It doesn't cost anything. All this is base functionality that everybody has access to. For an end user, what are some things that an end user might be interested in? A list of the common reports, maybe some statistics reports, which could be graphs, charts, that kind of stuff. Bulletins, and Bulletin is a tool that Workday provides to just create a nice list of text and links. Task links, one of the other people were sharing earlier about going in and how you can add task to a dashboard. Quick links, these are links that can be to an external site, or it can be to internal parts from different parts of the system. Maybe you can't actually do a task, but you can do a link to that particular screen. You can also do links to Google Drives or to a Google Doc, maybe a bookmark within a Google Doc. You can also do links to Workday Media Cloud as well. Here's an example of a end user dashboard. It's kind of an intranet type of thing. It's got multiple tabs like we were saying before, but in this case we actually migrated off of SharePoint and added a lot of our things to created basically a intranet where we can communicate off of this hub. And so the first part here, you can see the communication archive and resources side, and that is actually a bulletin. And so I'll show you how to edit that, but that's got, you know, all those graphics there that you see down the left-hand side, or you can choose what graphics, you can choose what links. And then on the other side is where you have the quick links and calendars that you can see. Those words, quick link and calendars, those are, you can call that whatever you want, and then underneath there you can put the links. The board of directors section there is simply another bulletin that we displayed on this particular dashboard. Departmental dashboards, you know, a lot of the same type things, although you may not do a bulletin because you're more taking them directly to things that you want them to be able to get access to. So here's a project department dashboard. First red box is a list of reports. So these are a list of custom reports that we created for that department. Also includes a description in the comments field of what that report is for, which is really helpful for new people to know what that report is used for. The My Project one here is a list of, I was proxied as a project manager, and so he can see all of his projects he's working with. He can drill into actually changes to those just by clicking on the hyperlink and see the start and end dates. And then up here, links. In this case, it's 2 manuals that are process manuals related to projects. They could have also put links to create a new project or whatever else there as well. And then below that, there was a graphic about the, which is more of a summary chart of all the different projects, where they are in the world, and you could actually drill into those projects as well. Executive dashboards, these tend to be much more focused on statistics. Executives want to see trends and they want to see what's happening now. And because you're often doing summarizing up data, you need to remember that on a dashboard, report has to be able to complete in 30 seconds or that report will fail. And so the key thing is you want to be using index data sources on those types of reports. So here's an example of one that we recently had to create, somewhat related to COVID, and wondering how the changes were going to impact the executives in terms of income. And so we're doing 4 or 5 tabs here. Each of this is a different type of statistic. Here we're doing year-over-year income and year-over-year current month comparison income. And so this has been a huge win for our executive teams. They've been very excited about that. So what are the tasks that we're looking at? Go to the maintain dashboards. Down the left-hand side here, you have the different tabs. And then in the right, down the center, you've got worklets in the menu. Worklets is the actual reports that are showing up kind of in the center of the screen. The menu side is what shows up on the right-hand side, where I was saying you could change the names. How do you create a bulletin? You use the create or the edit option here. So what's in the red box, the first section is what image you want as the bullet. Then you've got the message, what's the text you want to have displayed. Then the next section is you can put a video there, or in the final one is that you can do a link to wherever you want to have that go to. So a report of reports, how do you create a report of report? There's 2 components. There's the report itself. That report is basically 2 fields. It's the report task, which is automatically an instance field. It's a hyperlink that you can click on to go straight to the report. And you put the brief description field, you put your text to describe it in the brief description field. That report, I just talked about the 2 fields. It's going to be the data source is the custom reports that I can run. And you can just share this with everybody, and they're only going to see the reports that they are authorized to be able to run on that report. You add those 2 fields. Then you're going to want to add a filter, which is you're going to filter on the report task not being empty, and on the report tags, you want each of your reports that you're going to display, you're going to tag with maybe a department name or whatever identifying one you want. Here you got to filter on that particular tag that you want to grab all the reports. On the report, and then on here you're going to also, the actual reports that are going to show up on this report, you know, the listing of those reports, in there the first thing you got to do is you want to tag it with what you're going to use as your grouping mechanism, basically. On the output tab, under the output tab, under help text, one of the fields there is a brief description, and you can put how you're using this report, who would be interested in using this report, and how it's used in there. And I typically, as an IT person, I don't like to write that description. I go to my end users or power users and say, how do you describe this? Because if I write it, it would be too techy, and I really need an end user to say, oh, what's the best use of this? Final example is we replaced the personal information worklet with a new multi-tab dashboard, and so we're able to give access to a lot more tasks and group it by those different things. So we got personal information, and this tab is the contact information, and you've got some summary reports there so that people can see it all at one spot. And you may say, well, you can do all this under the job, under the worker profile. Why would you do it here? And part of this is it allows you to tailor it to just the things that your workers need to see, and it's not maybe as overwhelming as all the different tab options that are available in your worker profile. So hope this is helpful. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Keith. It's very helpful. What's next on the agenda?
Up next, we'd like to welcome Jerome from Texas.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me. My ask is, I've been looking to create a custom dashboard to combine talent and performance with the career worklet. So I'm having some issues enabling the custom task. For some reason, when I do create one, the only ones that I could put in there are the admin type tasks like maintain career preferences instead of, just the link for achievements or career interests. So I've been looking through the communities, and I've seen a good post with, somebody with, custom dashboard, and I'm hoping to find out what, how to get to that one. So that's my question.
Yeah, so if I can jump in, I actually saw this, and I think if you can go back to the create custom tasks on the worklet. If you go to maintain dashboards, edit your dashboard, and then try that, add a task and create a custom allowed. In this case, I hit career, and you can put in maintain career preferences and view career preferences on the talent. I think it was a performance dashboard.
Okay, thanks. I guess I might not have the rights to view all of it because on my tenant, I didn't see the viewed career preferences. So I'll check on that.
Thank you, Jerome. And for Caroline for jumping in here, perhaps let's move this to the chat. Let's see if people can help Jerome figure that out then. Maybe it is a security issue.
What's next on the agenda?
Up next, we're going to have Nate with Share on a Benefits Dashboard. Welcome, Nate.
Thanks, guys, for having me. Appreciate it. So essentially, I'm just going to share what we have done with our benefits dashboard. We removed the Workday delivered benefits worklet. It didn't allow for much customizability or the ability for employees to receive specific information that we want to push out to them. So essentially what we did was I created a custom dashboard and then went ahead and tied it to a benefit self-service domain. So employee as self would automatically have access to that. And then on the worklet section, I went ahead and we kind of walked through a little bit past here, but created a couple of bulletin worklets, which is different information. So we have our 2020 enrollment guides, all of our benefit providers included on one worklet with their contact information so employees know who to reach out to specifically, as well as annual benefits and other help. And then on the menu section, what we did is we took all of the tasks that were currently on the Workday delivered worklet, and we just add them as tasks here on the custom dashboard under the menu section. And we did that by creating the custom tasks as we just saw a couple slides back. And then also what I did is we had a lot of documents, PDFs, even videos that we wanted to share with our staff regarding benefits. And so we hosted those on another platform, OneDrive, Dropbox, anything like that, and we created a quick link to those specific sites and just added them as external links. And for example, here you can see we have a bunch of how-to guides for our employees, and we just added it under the menu section there. This is kind of a brief overview of what our benefits dashboard looks like. You have the enrollment guides on the left. That's just one bulletin worklet. And then as you can see on the right, it has all the benefit tasks as well as how-to guide links. And we just found this is a lot easier for employees to receive specific benefit information rather than just emailing them documents anytime we need it. And I think the next thing we want to look forward to doing is recreating this dashboard and adding multiple tabs. That way we can add more information. So that's everything I have. If anyone has any other insights or want to add anything to this, please feel free to message me in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nate.
Thanks so much, Nate. Now it's time for our Apple Watch announcement with Marilyn from Canada.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Marilyn. Tell us your story. Tell us about this picture.
Sure. Last December, you mentioned in an airing of the Sharing Show that the Workday Stock Challenge was still on. And I chose February 19 because it was a milestone birthday for me this year. So it felt like a good pick. I was lucky enough to celebrate a normal birthday just before the pandemic hit North America, but what made it extra special was when the stock passed $200 a share for just a short time that day, and I won an Apple Watch.
This is probably the more important reason why you're here, right? So
Yes.
tell us what happened here.
Well, during the last episode of the Sharing Show, I was watching as I normally do, but at the same time, I'm also fostering 2 orphan puppies. They came into care at about 1 week old, and I've been bottle feeding them every few hours around the clock for the last couple of weeks. And it just so happened that I was actually feeding them during the last show, so my attention was definitely in more than one place. And I love doing the Kahoot challenge every week, and I knew it was for the watch, but I did not intend to win at all because I had already won an Apple Watch, as you know. So I wasn't really trying to compete, and I actually got the first question wrong, and I was 28th or 36th or something like that, and I thought, okay, no problem, I'm in the clear. And then I popped into the top 5 after question 3, and I did not know the answer to question 4 and just took a guess that it was Rome. So I was so shocked to see when my name scrolled to the top of the podium. But as it happens, that was Apple Watch number 2.
So now let's talk about why this is named, and we'll go through the stock briefly. But why?
Yes.
Okay, so when people go to thesharingshow.com, if you remember the URL, it's just WDay200, or you could go under participate, on the bottom is WDay200, right? Which is the moment it crosses over 200. Like Workday had hit 200 exactly early on before we started the show. So crossing over 200 is the important part. So if you get here, it's called Marilyn Special Birthday Apple Watch Present. And, we ask for your first name, your email, and then, maybe a backup personal email, but the month and the day. And the reason for this is because Marilyn won on her special day. But, I talked to Marilyn about this. So Marilyn, you're the one giving out the watch that you won.
Yes, winning 2 Apple Watches is so lucky, but as it turns out, I only need 1. So in the spirit of participating in the Sharing Show and previous share-a-thons, I think if someone else could win this second Apple Watch based on their birthday like I did, it'd be so fun to share with the new winner.
Okay. All right. So then all we're going to do is show like some of the history here is way back when, before Marilyn won, we were giving out 5 guesses for those who joined the Movember team. I had guessed February 14th, and this is one of the questions that you guessed on, or you knew the answer that my guess was February 14th?
I knew this one.
Right. Okay.
This one got me onto the podium in the top 5.
Okay. All right. And then this is the morning of your birthday. It looks like it's almost at 200. This shows the day before, and now this shows on that day of your birthday, and it was nothing but downhill since until now. Now we're close again. I guess I'm just going to say, for those who are ready to play this game, Marilyn's the one who's giving you the Apple Watch, not me, not any of the sponsors, right? So Marilyn, in a way, she's a sponsor. All we need you to do is enter in. You might have entered at the chat at the beginning. Now, several people might have the same birthday. So in that case, if you are here live and you entered it in the chat, you have a priority. The other thing that happens here is if your birthday just passed, you don't have to worry. It's possible that no one will have that exact birthday. So we might do a 6-month, like half birthday. We might do 3 or 4 month. We might do exactly 200 days plus or minus. It all has to do with on what day Workday crosses over 200. Thank you, Marilyn, for your generosity and the paying it forward.
That's great. It was super fun. Thanks, David.
Thank you so much. This has been a great show, and we would like to thank our co-sponsors. And for all of you who have enjoyed our show, please show your support by visiting our co-sponsors and helping to spread the word, both about the show and about our sponsors. We welcome our newest co-sponsor, TeamUpExtend.com. The team at TeamUpExtend focuses purely on Workday Extend, previously known as Workday Cloud Platform. Workday Extend just this month went GA, but it has been in our hands for several years. We help Workday customers with all of their Workday Extend needs, ranging from high-level introductions for those who are new to Workday Extend to developing new, cool tools tailored for your company, and also to maintaining code that you are now supporting from earlier versions of Workday Cloud Platform. We are a team of ex-Workday employees, experienced customers, and affordable consultants. Visit us today at teamupextend.com. And we would also like to thank our returning co-sponsor, David, thesharingguy.com. Thank you, David, for all you do for the Workday customer sharing movement. And of course, for co-hosting episodes of The Sharing Show. And it looks like you're starting to add to your blog page. So we're looking forward to seeing your shares on the blog.
Okay, thanks, Teresa. Okay, so this is the only time I've been, introduced here on this show. So Caroline, fantastic job as co-host. I have not said much on this show, but I do want people to know that on David the Sharing Guy, I will start adding more content. There's just a few blogs that are up there now.
Thank you, David. We'd also like to thank Dovetail Software. Kane?
Excellent. Thank you, Logan. So just wanted to quickly go through a brand new set of applications that we've just launched. These are COVID-19 applications for HR. The first one is Dovetail Check. So it's basically a symptom checker that allows you to ensure the health and safety of your workforce and comply with state and local laws. And this is becoming more prevalent now in the global workforce, where organizations trying to get people back to work are looking to get them back in a safe way, and so are either being required by state or local laws or recommended to start doing daily symptom checks. So we have a feature that now allows you to do that. We can also offer something called Dovetail Track, which monitors and checks in with any employees that are in isolation or those that have been put into self-quarantine. And then finally, Dovetail Trace, which is a contact tracing solution. This allows you to make contact with any employee that's been infected with COVID-19, find out from them who else they've interacted with recently while they've been infectious, and make contact with those employees to put them into self-quarantine. That reduces the spread of COVID-19. And just if you're interested in understanding where those state and local laws are, there are two very good online resources, ogletree.com and littler.com. Big PDF on the left from Ogletree that goes into this very detailed state by state and local county by county, and then the Littler one as well. And then finally, just in summary, so we have the Dovetail Check, the Track, and the Trace products. If you go to dovetailsoftware.com, on there, there's a video that walks you through these three features and applications and gives you a quick demo.
Kane, that's awesome. Thank you for this great update. And I want to thank everybody. It's been a great show. Kane, you get to wrap us up.
Excellent. Well, thanks, David. And thank you to Caroline. Thank you for the co-hosting today, and to David, Teresa, and Logan. And thank you to all our guests today. As you know, we post all of our videos onto our YouTube channel. You can head over there, click subscribe and like. And let me do my button to get that coming up for you. And if you do that, you will then get a notification when that new video has appeared. And I think it's been a fantastic show again. As David mentioned, it's our largest to date now. We've got the highest numbers now, and this is really exciting to see this keep growing every 2 weeks. So nothing left from me to say other than everybody have a good and great work day.